Hello everyone, welcome to Firefighter 2. The sake of this video will be to certify you for Firefighter 2. Just like Firefighter 1, you can take notes, and there will be a written test after this, and then you will have to get in-game to do your practical exam. Helping me out today, I have Fire Cadet Birdman, Fire Cadet Resignator, and then in the back I have BFD's Department Overseer, OG Dragonman. So to start off with this training, we are going to be going over our ladder truck and how to use the ladder truck. As we went over in Fire Officer 1, the driver operator drives the apparatus and they operate the ladder. The officer, if they're the first dude, they take scene command. They instruct the crew on the apparatus. They're responsible for the apparatus. They're responsible for radio communications, and they assist where needed. Your barman, who sits behind your driver operator, is responsible for forcible entry and assist where needed. Your OV is responsible for ventilation, horizontal and vertical, and they may also be responsible for roof operations. You fine gentlemen will follow me out back. We will go over this. The tanker also has all the same equipment as the engine. They have an 1 3/4 attack line, a 2.5 inch attack line, and 2 5-inch supply lines. The ladder truck has 2 3/4 and 1.5 inch attack line, just like the engine. The heavy rescue has the Tellerman, which provides support and assistance during incidents often involved in search and rescue operations, and the specialist includes personnel with specialized tools and equipment for tasks like confined space rescue, water rescue, and structural collapse recovery. We're going to go over how to use a ladder truck now. When you are using a ladder, it is important that you first start by deploying your outriggers. Once you've deployed your outriggers, you may move the ladder up. Once you have moved it up to around about your desired height, you may move it left or right. In my case, I'm going to go left. Once you have gotten roughly where you want to be, going left or right, then you can go out to get to your desired height going out. Please note that the bucket automatically levels, and so you have no control over the ladder or the bucket. Once you are done, you will go in. Once you have moved your ladder all the way in, you will move it to the right. Once you're over the ladder truck, you will move it down. And then when you're right about where it should sit, then you can click reset. And it might move a little bit, or it might sit where it was. After that, you can get out of your ladder and get down and go drive it. Whenever you are inside the truck, you need to ensure that the ladder is down before moving it. Next, I'm going to show you how to put up the ladder on a building. So when you are putting up your ladder on a building, there's a few different types of buildings that you will put up the ladder for, and each type of building is a little bit different. The most common type of building is a residential building. However, you may also come to a commercial building such as the ones found over here. When you're on scene of a commercial building, it is important that you position the ladder truck in such a place that you can get onto the corner of the building. Anytime you have a ladder truck on a scene that has a taller building that does not have flames on the roof of it, you need to reach the corner. This is also true for if you cannot reach the top of the building. You need to have access to the corner. That way you can access two different sides at once. So as you can see, in all reality, you would be a little bit closer, but from here I have access to this side and also have access to this side over here, so I can help spray over here. That is not ideal positioning though, even though that can get you both sides. Once again, going in and then going to the left or right. And then once you've gone to the left or right enough, then you can go down. You can make minor adjustments as needed. However, for the most part, most of your big motions should be done all in one motion with the ladder. So once again, deploy ladder. You're going to go up. Once you've gone up, you can start to go over. So right here is going to be ideal ladder placement. That way you can come up and turn on your sprayer and reach all the way over there. And also reach all the way over there. This also means that you can go down. And you can get out of the ladder and have your nozzle attacking one side and the other side attacking the other. This also grants you roof access to the roof of the building. If you are in a bucket ladder, it is preferred that you sit the bucket on the roof of the building to grant roof access. Once you are done, you will get in the ladder. You will go in. Once you've gone in, you will go to the left or to the right. Once you've gone all the way to the left or all the way to the right to get back over the truck, then you may go down. And then click reset. That is how to use a ladder. Next thing that we are going to go over is vehicle extrication. There's multiple different things that you can do in vehicle extrication. Vehicle extrication is a very advanced skill, and even though we're going to go over quite a bit of the things you can do, we are not going to go over everything. Just like Firefighter 1, you pull up, your lights on, Honk your horn 3 times to say that you're backing up. Back to your bay door. Have one of the backseaters go out and go open the bay door. And then once it's open, you can back into your bay. There's a car in my bay. That's what we like to see. Next, we will go over vehicle extrication. Mr. OG Dragon, if you would be so kind as to take your vehicle out back so we can cut up on your vehicle. On a vehicle extrication, typically we are going to have an engine and a rescue, maybe an engine and a squad crew if we have the staffing. If we can get the rescue crew out here, we're going to need the apparatus. I guess we're going to have an off-roading wreck. So typically your engine's not going to pull up super close. Typically, in this case scenario, the rescue would pull as close as it can while still being on the pavement, and the squad would pull off the pavement since it's a lighter apparatus. Whenever you are on scene of a rescue, you need a backboard, you need your Halligan, you need your heavy chainsaw, you need hydraulic struts, you need your spreaders, and you need your cutters. You will also need your open bunkers and your SCBA. With your SCBA, make sure to change your helmet color and then use your eye shield. The first thing we do whenever we get on scene of a motor vehicle accident is we take our hydraulic struts, we place them on the ground, and we place them towards the middle of the wheel well. This secures the car from moving. Once we have secured the car from moving, we are going to take our Halligan and we are going to bust the window behind the occupants. So in this case, we're going to say there's a driver only. We're going to bust the window behind the driver with our Halligan, and then we are going to throw a safety blanket over the driver. After we do that, we are going to bust the window closest to them, and then ACP can get their medical started from there. After that, I'm going to take my Halligan, and instead of taking the spike end, I'm going to take the other part of it, the flat end, and I'm going to wedge it into the door, just like this, and I'm going to pull. This is creating a purchase point by separating the door from the rest of the body. After that, I'm going to take and close my spreaders. I'm going to wedge them in, and I'm going to take and I'm going to open. I'm going to do that for the top and bottom until I pop the door hinge or pop the door lock off of what it's connected to on the door. The little metal piece that it's connected to on the door is called the nadir bolt. After this, I'm going to move to the front part of the door. I'm going to take and make my purchase point, and then I'm going to take spreaders again, and I'm going to spread the door apart at the top and at the bottom. After this, I'm going to take the door up, and I'm going to set the door on the ground paint side down. The reason we set the door in specific paint side down is that way if the airbag goes off, that the airbag does not launch the door into the air. After this, if we are going to roll the roof, you would take your heavy chainsaw, due to the fact that we do not have a K12, and you would cut out the windshield. Once the windshield is cut out, you're going to take and you're going to cut these posts. These pillars are called the A pillars. I'm going to put up on screen a picture of a few diagrams here. So you can see right here where my mouse is the A pillar, this pillar is the B pillar, and this pillar is the C pillar back here. This long pillar. That is because there's no structural support right here. On this car, there's this A pillar, there's the B pillar. Right here has the C pillar because there's structural support behind that door, and then back here is a D pillar. This one you can see A, B, and C. It's just how many pillars there are and if there's structural support behind them whenever the door is open. Extended cab trucks only have an A and a B pillar. Once you have cut in both posts at the top, you're going to come back and you're going to break the windows on the B pillar if they have not already been broken, and then you're going to cut the B pillar. Once you have cut the B pillar, then you can take and roll the roof. If you need to lift the dash, you can take your spreaders, rotate them 90 degrees, and then open them with the in between the dash. That is how you would get someone out. Then you're going to put a C-collar on their neck, and then you're going to slide them onto a backboard, and then you're going to transfer them to ACP or whoever the on-scene EMS providers are. If there's multiple occupants and there's an occupant behind the driver, let's say, then you would come and break this window first to get this occupant a blanket, then break this window to get the driver a blanket, then break this window. This is that way we get everyone covered before we break the window near them. You may also need cutters for cutting off the door, however most of the time it should pop off. If needed, you can go through the front or the back windshield to get people out. However, you don't need to most of the time, especially in the game due to how physics work. Typically, we can go through a door. In real life, though, you might need to go through somewhere else. The most important thing, though, is get your vehicle stabilized. All of these tools can be found on the rescue and the squad. The engines carry basically a pair of spreaders and cutters, and obviously the Halligan and then the heavy chainsaw. They don't carry the hydraulic struts or any of the more advanced rescue tools. That is all for vehicle extrication. Once you've gotten them out and gotten them transferred, you can gear down. You can sweep up the glass, gear down, transfer it to ITD. Make sure to call a tow truck or ITD. Once ITD gets there and tells you that you are clear to leave the scene, you may leave. Next, we're going to go back to the training room, and we are going to talk about conclusions and stuff like that. All in all, Firefighter 2 is a very simple and short extension of Firefighter 1. As you can see, this video is barely going to be over 20 minutes long. It's very simple. Like I said, you are welcome to take notes on this and use this for your final quiz. The written quiz can be found in the description, and just like Firefighter 1, these will probably be being read on Tuesdays or Wednesdays, with final training days on Fridays or Saturdays. If you have any questions, feel free to open a ticket and you may talk to somebody there. All that being said, I'd like to thank Birdman, Resignator, and OD Dragon for helping me with the Firefighter 2 video. That way we can get it out to all of you guys so you can take this training.